Justin and Bethany and Kita. We are reviewing a trip that we went on that was to Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic at a Hard Rock.
We haven't been able to travel. We are missing, if you guys have been watching our videos, you've already heard us say this. We missed a few of the trips that we planned to have a lot of our content for the next year coming from. So what we decided to do is dig into our archives and talk about some of the trips that we took before. Some things that you guys might like because they're awesome. And we're only picking the awesome ones. The dumb ones, we're not even gonna show those.
Do we have dumb ones?
Yeah, there's some dumb trips.
What?
I don't know.
All right.
Family reunions. I'm just kidding.
You're making people feel bad.
Well, how did we get this trip? That's where we're gonna start.
So we did, what do you call this when you have the
auction? It was an auction, a live auction.
Live auction that we went to, the Mountain West Mother's Milk Bank Gala.
So yes, it's a charity event that Bethany's work is heavily involved in, and that is the charity. Each year they have this event, right? And each year one of Bethany's colleagues puts up her Hard Rock timeshare, and we have bid on it from the very first event till we won every single one.
Right. They've had it 4 times. We've got it 4 times.
And it's kind of become an ongoing joke. Anyway, in this one, when we won this one, Bethany got a little bit crazy in the bidding. And there was a point where we were sitting at the table with all of your coworkers, and you're like bidding, and they're looking at me and laughing their heads off because they could probably see me like, well, we spent, that's a lot of money. Anyways, we've always enjoyed it. So one year,
totally been worth it.
They have been. One year we went with the girls to Hard Rock Riviera Maya in Cancun, and that was amazing. Then we did Punta Cana Hard Rock in the Dominican Republic, and absolutely amazing, you'll see. And then we did Unico, which Bethany will link in the description.
So
let's dig into it.
As you know, we're trying to go again to Mexico, but we'll see if it happens.
You have this. You can't bid anymore.
Okay, no more bidding. Justin's taking it away from me. To get to Dominican.
From Utah.
From Utah, yes. You can't just go on a straight flight.
No direct flights.
No direct flights. You have to go on 2 flights. So take off from Salt Lake, we went to Atlanta, and they have an awesome airport.
Yeah, I'm sure some of you have been through it, but it was Bethany's first time in Atlanta. So one, just the size of the Atlanta airport is daunting. But it's beautiful. One of the corridors that they have there is the projection that made it look like you were in a rainforest. And so they had water dripping from the canopy, they had birds flying over the canopy. We had about an hour-long drive from the airport to the hotel. When we pulled up to this resort, the first thing that I remember was, well, here's the entrance. We've been driving in the entrance for the last 20 minutes and we haven't seen the hotel.
Right.
We had been told that this resort was big. We had no clue how big this property was.
The other crazy thing is we totally got lost getting to our room. We were just talking about this. We kept thinking we should have already been there, but in all reality we needed to keep going. I mean, how long of a walk do you think it was from? It
was at least a 20-minute walk from the lobby to our room. It's just massive in scale, and they tried to tell us when we were at the front desk, there's a language barrier. Our Spanish could be a lot better than it is. But they tried to tell us, like, you're gonna go past this building, and then you're gonna be there. And they said, don't leave the main corridor. And I remember thinking, why does it matter if we leave the main corridor? But that's because the hotel, the back of the lobby looks out all the way to the beach, and it's just one giant, it's fountains essentially.
Right, like
pools,
a water.
But you don't swim in them.
No,
that's why they're fountains. But it goes forever and ever and ever. And then you walk over a river, and we walked past the first building of rooms, and we walked into the second building of rooms because we thought that's what he told us to do. And we looked all around. We were like, what do we do? Do we go back in? And finally we realized there's like 2 more building sections, and these buildings were massive. So if you go here, it is huge. Do not underestimate how big it is.
In fact, you could rent golf carts.
Yes, you can rent golf carts for your stay.
But we did not.
We should have, because it would have been awesome. The rooms at all of these Hard Rock hotels that we've stayed at have been absolutely amazing. But this took the cake. Like, it was huge. Let's start from the entrance.
Okay.
You walked in, there was big closets, and then a huge bathroom with the cave shower. If you keep walking past that bathroom, you came to where the bed was, and the bed faced out toward the balcony. And if you walk to the foot of the bed, there's a TV off to the side and a bar and a table to eat at, and then a giant glass wall, just a partial glass wall. And then you went down some stairs, and that was where giant hot tub was.
Okay.
You can request different smells be pumped into your rooms, and you could request different bath salts and different pillows. Once you move past that hot tub, there was a couch and another TV, and then that went out onto the balcony, and a desk, yes.
And then out on the balcony, there's this picture on the one side, or
It's kind of like a wall hanging sculpture.
And there was this lizard that would poke its head out every once in a while. It like lived behind.
We watched it eat bugs in the morning. Bugs would be out and it would come out and eat the bugs. And we spent a lot of time at the beach here. We have a very intimidating story about the beach. I don't know if you want to tell it or if you want me to tell it. We can tell it. So I feel like I'm a strong swimmer, and I've grown up swimming my whole life, grown up around the ocean. And Bethany is a very strong swimmer. She doesn't give herself a lot of credit,
swimmer.
We watched the waves, and you'll see it here. The waves were coming in. I don't know if we actually got good footage of it, but the waves were coming in from multiple directions. So we had it coming from the east straight in. We had it coming from the north and from the south, and the waves were all crashing at once right out on the beach, right in front of the beach that was at our hotel.
Right. And they have warnings. They have signs everywhere saying that there's this riptide, so be careful, and they did have a lifeguard.
This is the first beach that I've been to outside of Hawaii, North Shore maybe, where I have felt this strong of a riptide.
Yeah, so we're out there playing, and we had been very cautious because I was very nervous about this riptide, and I got more comfortable, and we would get out just a little bit further, and of course as the water goes out, it seems like it's like we are touching sand on the bottom. We're standing on sand. So I'm like, as long as I can touch, like the wave comes in and we go up and then come back down and I'm touching sand, I'm fine. I don't care. So we're doing that, but we weren't necessarily watching how, well, I guess the wave just came.
We were never in that water. So I'm a short 6 foot, and the water was never above my waist when we were doing that, until the waves would come in and then be a little overhead, but then the water would go back down and it would settle around my waist. We had 3 waves come in. They hit us all at once, and I watched as Bethany went under the water, and I tried to swim and hold her. And when you came up, I was looking back at the shore because I couldn't touch, and she was laughing.
I didn't know I couldn't touch yet, and he was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And then all of a sudden, I went to put my foot down, and I couldn't touch, and it was like pure panic.
I'm glad that she didn't turn around and look where the beach was, because we were probably 150 to 200 yards out from the beach. These waves had just pulled us that fast. As we tried to come back in, even, we swam parallel to the beach, but the waves coming in from the south would push us back north. We treaded water, I calculated, for about 45 minutes. Finally, I was looking in, and we were getting further and further out, and Bethany was starting to give up. And I started to panic because I could only hold her up a little bit.
He went to come help me, and it made me more panic.
So I looked back at the beach, and there's just this lifeguard standing there, and I'm waving to him, and he waved back. That was it.
Right, so he just watched us as we finally came in, and I completely collapsed on the beach because I was so dead tired and just full of water.
Yeah, she did. She collapsed on the beach. They had these Balinese huts, and then all over the place they had these thatched umbrellas that were pretty low to the ground, but people could put their lounge chairs under them. And Bethany essentially crawled and stumbled until she got to one of those and just fell under it and fell asleep for quite a while. And I went back in the water. I don't remember if you did.
I went very little in the water. Like, just, it was basically hitting my feet, and that was it. Besides, we went snorkeling later, but that was calm water.
Well, calm. It was not what we had just been in, but it was pretty rough still.
We are going to end it here, and next week we will talk about our excursions that we did in Punta Cana.
Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.
Okay, bye.